everybody. I want to welcome you to a very special random day of the week episode of the Beard Owl podcast, the podcast where we talk about two of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al. And guess what? This episode's going to be more about beer than Weird Al. We've had so many episodes. Yeah, we've had so many episodes more Weird Al than beer. I've had teetotalers on this show. I love them. They love Weird Al, but they don't talk beer with me. And so I have Dave from the Beer in Front podcast, and we are talking beer today. Hey, Dave, thanks for being here. How are you?
Lauren, thanks so much for having me. I'm doing good. It's an honor to be on your show. Big fan of yours and your brother's.
Oh, thank you so much. And ditto, sir. Ditto. I said this on your show. I could listen to you read the phone book. I love your voice, and I'm really glad your voice is going to be on my show now.
Well, I am honored. And it's weird. Like years ago, I smoked cigarettes and I work with the public. So people would come to me every day. Like, are you a disc jockey? Are you this? And I'm like, no. And people stopped saying that after I quit smoking. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're very welcome. See,
I was just gonna start smoking again, but no, I'm glad I don't have to anymore. Yeah.
No. See, you're healthy and you've got the voice.
Thank you.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. Those honeyed tones. Yes, but Dave, before we get too far into things, let's tell the people what your show is about, who you are. Why are you qualified to be on the Beard Owl podcast today?
My name is Dave Zalatoris. I live in Chicago, and I started doing the Beer in Front podcast a little over a year ago. It was horrible timing, right before the pandemic, where what I wanted to do with the podcast, and I'm a nobody. I don't work in the beer industry. What I wanted to do with mine, I'm just an everyman, every person. I couldn't tell you which direction the grass was growing in the hop fields. And, people will, this was growing with a westerly flow. And it's beer. And I love beer, but I think people over talk about it. They make it far more complicated. And what I wanted to do with my show is just enjoy the beer that's in front of us. And instead of worrying about getting a badge on Untapped or worried about, well, this year's version was better than last year's. Is the beer in front of you good? Excellent. Let's talk about what's in front of you. I wanted to, talk to people in person, go to breweries, go to bars. That kind of got pushed by the wayside.
Yeah.
And, I only wanted to talk about beer. And I figured, all right, well, I could do 30 minutes. I could do that. No problem. And then I did the first podcast and it was 8. I'm like, I'm going to need to branch out a little bit more about this if I can't go out. So I talk about a little bit of news of the day. And at the end of the show, I'll call out some hypocrites in the world and I'll call them a jagoff. Now, I know you're from Pennsylvania. I believe jagoff started in Pittsburgh. And the only two places that I know of that use the term jagoff are Pittsburgh and Chicago. But if you're a hypocrite, if you do something, I'll call you a jagoff.
Oh, I love it. The term jagoff. Yeah, like I've heard that definitely in Pennsylvania. I'm from the eastern side of the state originally. So we have our whole different vernacular over there. But I live in Jacksonville, Florida now, and jagoff.
Thank you for Nick Foles.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
He won a Super Bowl, got screwed by the Eagles, came to Jacksonville, played one play, and went to Chicago. Yeah. What a guy.
Yeah.
What a guy. But yeah, so he was a jag, and then he was off. So there you go.
That's a nice tie-in.
Thank you.
Yes.
This is what I do. So we're going to talk about beer here today, but I have to bring our hero, Weird Al Yankovic, into it somehow.
Of course.
And so we're going to focus today a little bit with our conversations on how weird craft beer can be. Because appreciating the beer in front of you is one thing, but I am not sure if I'm going to appreciate the beer in front of me or not, because it's so weird. It's kind of like what you were saying. It's these breweries trying all these unusual things, and now I haven't had this before, and I may be making a mistake trying this for the first time with a guest on the show. But you know what? I don't think I care, because my reaction is going to be what it's going to be, and we shall see what happens. So I'm going to crack open this can here, and it's all right. It's
Love that sound.
oh, you got to love that sound, right? It's a
Yeah.
good sound. We have had bottles on the show, growlers on the show. Nothing makes a sound quite like a can, except maybe the cup, some of those beers that come with a cork in them when you get to pop them. But I have from Oliphant Brewing in Wisconsin a beer called Sangy Squishy. It is a peanut butter, blackberry, and banana sandwich sour ale. And
That was, if this is just an audio podcast on
yeah.
your end,
Uh-huh.
you should save the video of the look on your face when you took a
Oh,
whiff of that.
yeah, it's got an interesting aroma. Uh Peanut butter definitely hits the nose before anything else, which is very weird for a sour. It's red, much
Yeah, it's
like
like a nice, like purpley red color.
it's a pretty color. It smells like peanut butter. God. I know. You can laugh at me. It's going to be bad. All right, you know what?
What's that?
It doesn't taste as bad as it smells.
Well, that's good.
Oh, interesting.
It's
Okay.
like broccoli.
Yeah, it's like broccoli. It's like broccoli.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Definitely. I love broccoli.
And how come there's not a broccoli stout or a broccoli ale? Although someone listening will probably start one.
You know, there's enough fruit in beer. Where are the vegetables?
You know, a friend of mine, we homebrewed together for years and years. And we would always joke about what happens to you after you eat asparagus. And we were
Yeah.
saying, we're going to call a beer asparagus pea, and we're just going to make a beer and call it that. And my wife Ruby and I, we were in Michigan a couple years ago, and we went to a brewery, and they had a beer brewed with asparagus. I'm
Really?
like, I'm going to have to try this. And I asked the person tending bar, is this any good? And they looked at me the way you looked smelling that beer. And the guy's like, let me just give you a sample of it. And it literally was like drinking asparagus.
Oh,
And that's
no.
part of like how bizarre craft beer is. It's like, did you really need to do this?
Like, no, yeah, did you have to do this? Like, did this have to happen? Did this particular beer have to happen? I'll tell you this much. A sip goes on a journey with this particular beer. Again, it's a peanut butter, blackberry, and banana sandwich sour ale. And it says it's an ale brewed with blackberries, bananas, lactose, sea salt, and vanilla with peanut butter flavor and caramel color. So, all right. But a sip of this now, when it goes in, the first thing you get is the blackberry and the fact that it's sour. And then,
That's good.
yes, that's good. I don't get a lot of banana out of it, but after you've swallowed it, like 5 seconds later, you get a mouthful of peanut butter, which is weird. But it smells like peanut butter. And do you know how? I mean, if you've had like Sweet Baby Jesus from Dewclaw, the chocolate peanut butter porter that they have,
Okay.
that smells like peanut butter. But that's a smell like peanut butter that makes sense to me, because it's a dark beer and it's with chocolate, and you're getting that like peanut butter cup kind of feel to it. This smelling like peanut butter doesn't make sense. It just doesn't.
There's a lot going on.
There's a
Like
lot.
if they had maybe a little bit left of each batch and are like, well, we don't want to throw it out, so let's make this beer.
Yeah, maybe, maybe, and more power to you for throwing things together like that. So
Because you bought it.
yeah, I did buy it because it just seemed so weird. It seemed so weird. So enough about my weird beer. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking from Half Acre. They're a brewery literally right down the street from me in Chicago. This is a double India Pale Ale called Second Setting. Now, I've never had this before. Half Acre makes some classic. They're known for their IPAs, their pale ales, but they do everything well. They do have a sour program. They did a Black is Beautiful stout that
Oh,
was excellent. This is a double IPA. I'm trying to look at the can real quick. 8%. Really good. No, I'm digging this. It's called Second Setting. They're known for their pale ale called Daisy Cutter, which I don't know if it's widely distributed, but that would probably be the beer is their flagship, what they're known for.
okay.
But yeah, all of their IPAs, top notch.
Oh, nice. I love a brewery that does a good job with IPAs. Now, you seem familiar with that brewery, being within walking distance from that brewery. So, do they do anything that strikes you as odd? Have they ever experimented in such a way that made you go, "Hmm," or do they tend to stick to, more normal stuff?
I'm sure they have. They've had some wild sours. They have a wild series. Um, no, nothing that just strikes me as like, what were you thinking?
Okay.
Um, and there's just, but it just seems like there's so many. And, I'm not sure about your area, but here it's everything is a hazy IPA, the milkshake IPAs, which I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, it's more, more power to you. If people are buying it, what do I know? I'm just a jagoff. What do I know? But yeah, there's some that are more like drinking a Jamba Juice than a beer,
Yeah.
and they're like chunky, and it's like the high pulp version of the orange juice. I'm like, no, 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 no.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you just don't want your beer to be that thick,
Yeah.
especially if you want an IPA. No, I totally get that. Uh, there's some breweries around here that do a good job. Uh, so here in Jacksonville, there's a brewery called, well, it's in Jacksonville Beach. I'm sorry,
Oh,
it's across the Intracoastal Waterway, so it's at the beach. It's called Southern Swells, and they primarily do hazy IPAs, but they'll do a lot of variations on it, and so they do kind of small batch can releases a lot of times, and most of those are lactose and some kind of fruit. And okay, like it's fine. Southern Swell's flagship beer is a New England style IPA called Karate in the Garage, after the Step Brothers movie. Do you want to go do karate in the
yeah.
garage? Uh so they call it Karate in the Garage. So that's one of those beers that you can go to a craft beer place around a tap room around here and say, "Oh, I'll have a karate," and they know what you're talking about. Like that's how pervasive it is in this area. But some of their other stuff is just a little it's just a little weird. I get it. I don't want my IPA to be too thick.
Yeah, like you shouldn't have to floss after drinking a beer.
No, no, I don't mind a thick stout, but I don't want a
Yeah,
thick IPA because thick stouts are
no.
thick for a completely different reason. Yeah, this is. I can't get over how weird this beer I'm having is. I'm sorry I keep going back to it, but it's so weird.
It's your show.
I know it is my
Now,
show.
could you do like will you finish that can or like would you buy a 4-pack of that? Or would that be something like, "Oh, Dave, I'm going to send you something. Here's a beer."
No, first of all, I wouldn't. I got 2 cans of this in my craft beer box, um, because one, I wanted to try it, and um, I thought it paired well with a particular Weird Al song. So if we get to that before this sour gets funky, I'll use it. But I don't know. I don't think I'd get it again. I get what they were doing and I appreciate the creativity. I do, because that's something that we could make this parallel right here, right now with Weird Al. There's creativity and there's weird, and then there's taking it too far.
Yeah.
And I think this took it too far. Now, would I like a blackberry and banana sour? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Do I need peanut butter in it? No. That's the problem with this. Like, when it goes down, I'm like, oh, that's good. Then it tastes like peanut butter and it smells like peanut butter. And that's what's wrong with it. Weird Al is very much like craft beer, if you think about it. I'm going to make you a Weird Al fan if you're not. I know you appreciate him. And I know, and you're wearing a
Yeah.
Weird Al t-shirt right now.
Yes, I am.
But there's so many parallels to like what Weird Al does and what the craft beer world tries to do. Because craft beer, I find they take their craft seriously. So what they're
Yes.
doing, they absolutely take seriously, to the smallest detail, right? Because if you mess up a small detail when you're brewing, things can go completely sideways. Weird Al is very much the same way. He takes his music very seriously to the smallest detail, but they take themselves seriously. But I don't think craft beer is always serious. When you think of the names of some of these beers, like this is called Sangy Squishy, I've got Big Little Thing, I've got Hop Slam, I've got so many cans around me because I make candles in them, so my cans are just sitting here.
I'm waiting for mine.
I know, and you'll get yours. Actually, I have. Okay. Yeah, I have it. I have it, and it's coming to you. You're getting a Hop Slam candle.
I love Hop Slam.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, and if you want, I have hop oil. So I could send that to you because I don't use it anymore. I mean, I have Cascade hop oil that I used. I used to make kombucha, and I wanted to make a hop flavored kombucha, but it wasn't that great. Certain things don't deserve to have hops in them.
Yeah.
The kombucha was one, but I have hop oil that I could send you if you want to use to make a beer scented candle.
Oh my gosh, yes, I would love that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would love that. I would love that. Oh, that's so cool. So, talking about Hop Slam, you had mentioned in the beginning when you were talking about your show and this year's version wasn't as good as last year's version, things like that.
Yeah.
Did you have Hop Slam from Bell's both this year and last year?
I literally last night got rid of my personal Untapped page that I had for years and years and years. So I know I did. I don't know what I rated between last year and this year. I just know that this year's I loved.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you what the difference was. Like, oh, last year's was a tick back. No, I have no idea. It was good. It was good then. It's good now.
Exactly. And I love that mindset that you have.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think what threw me is, I don't know if it threw you, but with Hop Slam last year, it was in cans. This year, were you able to get it in a can? Because I got it in bottles.
Yeah, I only had it in bottles this year.
Yeah. And I'll find that sometimes even the same beer there's something different.
Yeah.
In a can versus a bottle. I don't know what it is.
Or if you have something on draft.
Yeah.
Like my very first show, which I deleted because the sound quality was horrible. But one of my favorite beers of all time, it was the first craft beer I had, was Sam Adams Boston Lager.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up drinking old style and, normal beer that you would drink, like a Miller Lite, things like that.
Yeah.
The Sam Adams was a revelation to me.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, if I see it on tap, I will have it. It tastes, just my own preference. If it's on draft, it's 1,000 times better than in the bottle.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So yeah, there's definitely a big difference between bottles, cans, what you have on tap somewhere.
Yeah, it's just so strange. It's so strange how that happens. Come to think of it, Sam Adams was probably the first beer. Sam Adams and Blue Moon were the first like beery beers I ever really kind of came to appreciate. And I was a Sam Adams girl all through college. I was like, yeah, give me. And they come out with these little varietal packs all the time with different
Oh yeah.
stuff. And just as recently as 6 years ago, it came up on one of my little memories from from social from the past, and I was having some kind of a limited release Sam Adams 6 years ago today, and I was like, this is really good. I said, oh, was it? I don't know what it even was, but yeah, Sam Adams is like a safe space. So I guess my next question for you, if I really do have a question and want this conversation to go somewhere, is talking about beer like safe spaces. Now you mentioned Sam Adams. If this might be a difficult question, but if you had to pick like three desert island beers, like they would be the three beers that you had to have, and you could have an unlimited supply of them on draft on a desert island, what do you think those three might be? And this is one of those answers that can change as time goes on.
It
But
changes how you feel, changes with the weather.
right now, what
I
might
would
they
have
be?
Sam Adams. Sam Adams Boston Lager. It was the first craft beer I ever had. That would be one of them. The other one would have to be Sierra Nevada's Pale Ale. It's been a great beer forever. You'll never go wrong picking that up. So that would be the other. And the third is tough because I'm on a desert island. So where are you going to go? It's not like you have to wake up and go to work. So I would
Right.
probably do something a little boozier because, what are you going to do? Pick a coconut off the ground? You're on a desert island. You're stuck.
Yeah.
You got nowhere to go. So I'd have to pick probably a barrel-aged stout, something from Revolution in Chicago. And their barrel-aged program is killer. They have probably their Death by Cherries.
Ooh,
And it's a bourbon barrel-aged stout with cherries that's phenomenal.
that
And that's
sounds
one of my
delicious.
favorites. Yeah, I think that's about a 13 or 14%, but I'm on an island. Where am I going?
You're not going anywhere. Exactly.
Yeah, and it's unlimited supply, so
Yeah, I'd probably.
I think that would be the third. Or I'd have something barrel-aged as my third, but more than likely that would be it.
Oh, those are good choices. And now I asked you that question, and I'm thinking like, God, what would I even pick?
Well,
I don't know.
Go ahead, fire away.
I don't know.
It's not the peanut butter.
It's not
banana.
This.
It's not that one.
That's not this. Number one would be Victory Golden Monkey.
All right.
Because if I'm on a desert island, that's a refreshing beer, but it's also a very strong beer.
And if you're on a desert island, there's more than likely monkeys.
Exactly.
So this would tell them that you're cool and to not like mess with you.
Right. I've got the golden monkey, you guys.
Yes.
Like everything is fine.
You're genius.
Okay.
That's good thinking.
Yes, I'm doing my best. I've got the golden monkey. I've got the golden monkey. And then for some contrast, I would go with Southern Tier Samoa This.
I don't think I've had that one. So
it's in their like Girl Scout cookie flavor.
Ooh.
It's a stout with caramel, chocolate, and coconut, like the Girl Scout Samoa cookie.
All right.
And that's my favorite Girl Scout cookie. And I like a stout sometimes in the evening, to wind things down. Like if I'm having a stout, that's my last beer. I shut it off with a stout. And then I guess just for, I have to pick an IPA of some kind, I feel like, but I don't have to.
You don't have to. It's
really
your
don't.
island.
It is my island. I don't have to. Oh, this is a difficult question. I've got those two were super duper easy. And this last one. Oh, I know. I'm going to go with Mad Elf by Trogs Brewing.
And I thought that would have been your first because I remember because we follow each other on Instagram. Well, we do on Instagram, we do. But Untapped. But I know like how much you raved about that right before the holidays. Yeah. So I thought that would have been probably your first.
Yeah, it's just because it's not super readily available to me.
Yeah.
Now it's not like top of mind. basically what I was doing when I was thinking of this, I was picturing the draft board at my bottle shop, my tap room, and I was like, what do they usually have? Because they have like 42 rotating taps, and so I'm thinking, what do I usually see up there? And I never see that up there. That's why it wasn't popping into my brain first. But yeah, so that would be Christmas on the island. I'd probably do that in like December and January, and then I'd have some of this. Started warming up. I'd spend the summer drinking Victory Golden Monkey, and then I'd go to the Samoa this, and then so on, so on, so forth.
Where is your island that you have seasons?
I don't
Where
necessarily
is this?
have seasons, but I have months,
Okay.
and that's how I would track the time.
Do you have like your smartphone with you or watch? Oh, this is August. I'm going to have this. You're on an island.
I would use a tree or a rock or something, and I'd make some kind of calendar so I would know.
Okay.
Or,
Okay.
yeah, I would know. Well, I'm on a desert island. How are their taps?
Yes.
So,
Well,
it's my island.
yeah.
How are we doing this? That's great stuff.
How does that taste now that it's warming up a little bit?
That's a good question. Worse. It was better when it was really cold, which we've talked about this on our show quite a bit. Those beers that tout the, ice cold, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, the Blue Mountains.
That's trying to hide that it's bad.
Yeah.
Right? And so the fact that this was better when it was like cold.
It masks the imperfections.
Yeah. Again, A for effort and A for creativity, but no. Yeah. How's yours? It's the first time you've had that beer, right? How do you feel about it?
It's good. It's really good. It's more hazy than what I would like, but no, it's a solid beer.
Oh, so it's a double IPA.
Yeah, no, really good. Very hop forward. Definitely get the hop aroma with this. Yeah, nice little kick to it. I don't know if I would drink like 2 or 3 of these in one sitting, but no, it's a really good beer. Like, everything they do.
Oh, wonderful. I love it. So before we wrap up our conversation today, you had mentioned that you were in walking distance, or at least relatively close to, a couple really cool Chicago breweries. And so for any of the Beard Owl listeners that may be thinking about going to Chicago, do you want to give those cool places a shout out so that we might know where to go if we ever go to Chicago?
There are a lot of them. I mean, literally, you could spend a good long weekend and take Uber because there's a lot of them out there. But Half Acre would be one. Revolution's widely distributed now, so you might have had some of their things. Like I said, their barrel age program is killer. They make everything. They make everything well. So I would definitely go to Revolution. And I'm trying to think of like another one that maybe doesn't get the love and respect that they should. But there's one place that I talk about all the time called Casa Humilde. And it's 2 brothers. They started doing this. They're beers with like more of a Mexican feel to it. Everything they do is top notch. They really deserve love. I talk about them a lot because every beer I've had from them has been great. I would definitely check out Casa Humilde. And they're actually in a location where there's like 3 or 4 different breweries. So it's like one central spot. They all brew in the same location. And you could go, they each have a tap room in the same place.
Oh, that's
so you
cool.
could hit a few places there. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. I love when things are kind of lined up that way. There's a couple spots in Jacksonville that are very similar. I went to the Springfield neighborhood of Jacksonville, which is one of the historic downtown areas of Jacksonville. And yeah, there's 3. Like, girlfriend and I, we parked a car and we went boom, boom, boom. We hit 3 breweries and we're like, that was lovely. We sampled a couple things and just kind of moved on. And they're all relatively new breweries too. So I had never been to any of those, but fun stuff. I like when you can kind of hit a couple without having to drive too far.
Yeah.
It's always,
I mean, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Just like, from where I'm at, I could walk to Half Acre. There's like 2 other spots. It's a couple blocks away. Hit those. Maybe take a little 3-minute Uber ride somewhere else. Hit another place.
Oh, that's great. This has been so much fun having you here. I just want to thank you so much for being on. And before we wrap it up, or as we say on the Beard Out podcast, before we put a pin in it, tell people where they can find you and the Beer in Front show.
I make it pretty easy for you. So you could go to Twitter at Beer in Front. I do have a website. The website's horrible. It's just generic shit, but it's beerinfront.com. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
Don't worry about it.
It's beerinfront.com. The podcast is Beer in Front, and it's available where, most mediocre podcasts are heard. So you could hear it on Spotify, Apple, Google, anywhere you listen to, it's on there. And I mean, if you need to email me about something, if you're coming to Chicago, I'll definitely, tell you the places to go to. You could find me you just email me at dave@beerinfront.com and I'll reply right away to you.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, first of all, you have been an absolute delight, both here and on Twitter and everywhere, and your show. I love listening to you. I love talking to you. And I'm glad that you were here to talk to me today. And I'm glad that I was
a lot of fun.
Yes. So much fun. And I was so glad I was on your show talking to you not too long ago either, like very recently by my watch. Actually, for those listening, we literally recorded our episode for his show and then recorded this one. So we've just had one big long conversation that you have to listen to in 2 different
We've been
places.
day drinking while the rest of you are sitting home listening. Yeah. So Lord and I have been day drinking.
That's what happens.
Yeah. With matching glasses.
We've got matching glasses. Yeah. These Beer in Front pint glasses. They're super cool. Super cool. I love mine. And I was so happy I won your little contest. I was like, oh my God.
Well, and you mentioned it on Twitter the other day about like people not following directions because you're running your thing.
Yeah.
Literally. And you were going to get a pint glass regardless, but you were the only one that followed directions.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, all right, well, this is pretty easy. I don't have to go that far. Literally, no one followed directions. I'm like, okay.
So I won a pint glass because of my reading comprehension and my ability to follow directions. Are you hearing that, children? Yes. Follow directions. You get stuff. That's so funny. See, I thought I had like a really awesome like luck of the draw type situation, but if I won because I followed directions, that makes it even better for me because I won on my own merit for following.
Yeah, and like I said, you are going to get a glass regardless because your brother John, you're my favorite people, one of the podcasts I listen to all the time. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to send out a glass. But then I'm looking, I'm like, well, this person, it's like you need to follow and retweet. And no one did that. No. So I'm like, okay, it kind of whittles it down to 1. Okay, here you go.
Yay! Yeah, and you're getting a Beard Out pint glass regardless. No gas involved. Yeah,
I'll wash it out first. Yeah.
Wash it out first. You never know.
Yeah.
I do live with 2 big dogs, so who knows what kind of
dogs doing okay?
Oh yeah, dogs are doing just fine. Just fine. You know what? It wouldn't be a Beard Out podcast episode if I didn't talk about poop just a little bit. Because my vet, I'm sure as your vet does, needs a stool sample.
Yes.
Right? And so my German Shepherd, Miss Belladonna, did not provide them with a stool sample when she was there for her annual visit last week. So I was sent home with collection containers. And poop is easy, right? You just kind of wait till they go.
Yep.
They give you a little container with you scoop it up, close it up, call it a day. I got to get pee too. And
ooh.
I'm like, how do you do that with a girl dog? This is I did fine with my boy dog. He lifted his leg. I was swooped in like a ninja. I was like, all right, I got it. Closing it. Done. Girl dog.
I have a rat terrier, so she's low to the ground.
They're all low. I mean, my German Bella, she's low when she goes and something. And how am I going to do this? So I got one of those Like if you ever get Chinese takeout, those low, flat, white plastic containers from Chinese food. Because
I order them separately, so I have my own like Chinese takeout carriers that I've ordered like 100 of them. So if you ever need some more,
okay,
I'm your guy.
perfect. Okay, so we have one of those, and I was like, oh, so like I put that low plastic thing under her. I didn't even get enough, so I dropped a poop off today, and I still have like 3 weeks before my prepaid urine sample runs out, and so I still have to collect pee. Dogs, we
You're
love
gonna
them.
like, yeah, you're gonna fake the urine test. All right, I'm just gonna give her mine. Just take this one.
Right? Well, that brings us back to Seinfeld,
Yeah,
doesn't it? Mrs.
of course.
Seinfeld, I need your sample.
Yeah.
I need your sample. Elaine, you may have osteoporosis. Okay. Well, you know what? You plugged all your stuff. I did get a little talk about pooping. We talked about
Yes,
beers. And so, you know what? I feel like this has all of the hallmarks of a quality Beard Owl podcast episode. So, thank
it
you, sir,
does.
for being here
No,
today. Dave, thank you. Cheers. And
Lauren, thank you. It was an honor to be on.
hey, you know, you're welcome back anytime you feel like you want to just watch me drink a beer that I probably won't like again.
Okay, very good.
All right. Well, for all of us here at the Beard Out Podcast, I am Lauren. My brother's probably taking care of his child. Dave, thanks for being here, and we'll come at you next time, people. Bye.
Bye.
Perfect.
Awesome.